Let's take a look at what profits were possible. There hasn't been any news about the 102% XRP lawsuit till now. Today, I'm going to show you a way to increase your XRP completely risk-free. So basically, hodling extended? Yeah, you might be thinking at this point, Daniel, you've really gone overboard. No, I haven't. It works, and I will prove it. We'll also take a look at what's currently happening with Ripple and XRP. I have breaking news about the lawsuit with the SEC, which might not sound so great at first, but we'll get to that in a moment. Peace out. See you after the intro. At the time of this recording, XRP has cleverly snagged the third spot again, even though it's close, pushing Tether down to fourth place. This might only be somewhat related to XRP, but the performance was definitely strong. So we're talking about a 20% increase since the beginning of the year. However, it's worth mentioning that Tether has also lost some ground due to the delisting on various exchanges. I've talked about Mika and Co. before. Yeah, I've talked about it before. Feel free to check it out here. And Tether certainly plays a very significant role in that. If you take a look at this now, it's pretty nice what has been happening. So basically, the correction phase in the monthly view has now completely reset and is almost back to square one. Now, the big question is, what happens next? And there are all sorts of predictions. What I've pulled out now is, I've talked about this several times before, without going into too much detail. I always like to use Altfins because this tool already gives you the corresponding chart patterns. So what's nice here is in 2021, everything is looking bullish. So that will definitely make some XRP fans happy. Even if you take a look at the chart here and just check the corresponding RSI, it's quite low. So there could be potential for an upward movement. Of course, this is an AI tool, so there's no guarantee that it will actually turn out this way. But you can pull all these chart metrics from it, 2021. By the way, there are also some exciting coin tips here. So if you want to test this tool for free, check out the description. There's a link to sign up. And if you decide to buy it, there's also a 50% discount code included. So if you're interested in that, feel free to grab it. Hey folks, I almost forgot the most important thing. Today's video is of course brought to you by BitMEX. BitMEX, my partner exchange in the trading space, which has never been hacked and also provides proof of funds, which is super important. Then I have something for you, namely BitMEX. What a surprise. But if you also want to secure a $25 bonus, you can do that too. Check the description. There's the sign up link. You support our channel, and at the same time, you can also start trading with the bonus. At this point, I just want to say a big thank you. It's really crazy. I'm putting a lot of work into this channel, but it's paying off. Subscriptions are coming in, comments are coming in, and likes are coming in too. By the way, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It helps boost the algorithm. And of course, if you have anything to share, I'll be calling for that more often in the video. So just drop a comment. Let's exchange ideas. I also noticed that most of the people watching the videos haven't subscribed yet. So if you count yourself among them, feel free to subscribe and activate the bell so you won't miss any news. And now let's move on to the XRP lawsuit. Yeah, there haven't really been any significant news on that front so far. So I would definitely stay on top of this because the topic was very clear. Okay, Trump was elected and he's now pushing the SEC to completely reform, which absolutely makes sense. It's unbelievable what the SEC has filed in lawsuits alone over the past year. In finance, we're talking about 3.6 billion or something like that. By the way, that's an increase of over 3,000% compared to the previous year. So basically 2023. At this point, one might think, okay, maybe they want to mimic Bitcoin a bit, but all jokes aside, this isn't funny anymore. And you could already tell, okay, reform is needed. In the last Ripple update video or XRP update video also talked about where exactly these topics come from. But Gensler seems to be going after all the other critics in the crypto space or against crypto at the SEC, which is already a good sign. But we still don't know exactly what will happen now because the deadline is January 15th. Will the SEC file some kind of appeal, or will they just let it go and Ripple won't even have to pay a fine, and we just forget about the whole issue that has restricted the entire growth and the whole cosmos over the last 4 years? We don't know yet. I found a hot off the press article. But I also want to add right away, the question is always whether that is really 100% accurate. A forecast predicts something by January 15th. Former SEC lawyers confirm something should be submitted by the 15th. January, something should be filed with the Federal Appeals Court. Then it should go into an extended period and be re-examined. The first people will sigh in relief because it doesn't mean a big pump for XRP, which many hope for. In January, something is supposed to be submitted to the Federal Appeals Court, and then the whole thing should go into an extended period and be re-examined. Yeah. Now the first people will take a big sigh of relief because that doesn't really mean a big pump for XRP, which many might have been hoping for. In the last video, I also talked about whether that would really be feasible. If so, it would still be relevant. But we don't want to forget that 5 days after the 15th, so for those who can do the math, that's the 20th. Well, there's Gary Gensler. So let's see this as a farewell gift. Now there are already speculations. I still can't tell you to this day because it's always so vaguely worded whether he is already confirmed. But we're talking about Paul Atkins, who might take the reins here. And now it's also conceivable that he might just say, yeah, all right, there's a lawsuit, but it's nonsense. Let's drop the lawsuit. We'll see if it really happens that way. But that's the forecast. It at least comes out here. Maybe we'll get some more concrete information now. I really hope there isn't a dump just because it said that the SEC is appealing again. But it's definitely conceivable. I mean, realistically speaking, we all know Gary Gensler, and he really doesn't care at all. He also voted against the Solana ETF, for example. Also took the lead in voting against it. So yeah, why wouldn't he do that 5 days before the end of his term? But now let's get to the main topic of today's video. How can you build up XRP passively? I'll tell you right away, this isn't the optimal solution I'm showing you. It's just the first option, and it definitely carries huge risks. This means regarding the Pionex grid trading bot, I've talked about it quite a bit already. Of course, I'm using it with Pepe. Before you say, yeah, of course, that's not XRP, it's Pepe. My bot is currently running there, super solid, everything's great, and you can see the different grids here. That's all nice so far, but one issue is definitely a downside. If we assume that XRP shoots straight up through the roof and just keeps rising, the bot won't buy anything because this bot only buys when there's a price pullback first. This is EG, very tasty here. Quickly down, up again, he bought and sold again. That makes sense. But if we're talking about a straight pump here, it's really not that smart. So for me, it definitely makes sense because the bot started somewhere around here, which means these positions are still open anyway, so I can quickly show you the current status. This means, again, we have a grid profit, which is what mainly interests me, of almost 60%. We have unrealized profit logically because there are still open positions. So that means in total, I'm currently down $50 if I were to close it now. But of course, I'm not doing that. I see this as a long-term investment. In conclusion, regarding the Pionex grid trading bot, if you're interested in winning 2025 USDT, you now have just about 5 days left. How is this all possible? Click here to join now, sign up, go through KYC, and then you'll be part of it. You can read all the terms and conditions here. I won't go into it in any more detail here. I'll show you everything in the link. Now let's get to the actual topic I want to discuss and how you can work without risk. Because here you can obviously get liquidated, and I hope you're aware of that. Where there's a lot of profit, there's also a lot of loss. And so we move directly to the next exchange, which is BitGet. And this is where it gets quite interesting. A couple of days ago, I let a bot run, and I should mention that it's unleveraged, which means you can't get liquidated, obviously, without leverage. The bot is set up to sell whenever the price increases by 1%. And that's pretty cool. Because this bot works a bit differently. It buys continuously. So that means if the price keeps rising, the bot or the grids will also move up accordingly. If it goes down, then up to a certain threshold. So that is e.g. down here. Wait, where do we have it? Safety orders. There are a total of 50 set up and 4 of them have already been triggered. I'm currently running this bot with 1275 USDT and it has already made a profit of almost $1.30. Well, that's already quite nice. What's going back and forth now? It's always a bit diluted because you have to remember that there are also open positions that are initially shown as losses. Now you might be wondering, okay, and what can this thing do? Like how much can come out of it? And I've set that up here, and it's definitely impressive. So as I said, if you're interested in diving deeper, I can maybe share something like that with you because you have another huge advantage. The Pionex grid trading bot, you trade with USDT, which means you get USDT back in the end. Here it's different. I've set it up differently in Bitget. In the end, I effectively get XRP and can then decide whether to hold it or sell it. I'll show you that again briefly and then we'll get back to this view. So, you see this here. When I go to terminate, I can choose whether I want Bitget to sell the XRP for me or if I want to sell it manually. And I've already selected that I want to do it manually. Why? The big advantage is that I can dollar cost average, meaning that when the price goes down, I buy more for every percentage drop, which reduces my average purchase price. This makes it quite appealing because we all assume that XRP is going to skyrocket at some point. By the way, you can see exactly that here at the green line, where you can see how it keeps moving down because you can see right here, okay, the price is going down and bam, it drops. Here you can always see where buying and selling happens, and then you can see this average value here. For example, here, nothing happened at all. That's also the difference between futures and spot. Now, one might say at this point, I'll also show you what is possible with futures. Definitely, based on the settings I have for the bot running for 40 days. I'll show you in a moment what it has achieved overall. In the last 40 days, it would have made me a 20% profit, which would be about 509 USDT. But it's important, I've posted it here, so I'd like to share it with you. 2550 that I've put into the race, so a little more than what it was before. 2001, if you look at the annual value, then we'd be at 1306 USDT, so just under 51. The bot can be set up differently. I've run it on XRP, but note, XRP has mostly moved sideways, so not much has happened. Consider running it on Solana, it would be wilder. I'm interested in those willing to take risks with leverage. Now just think about it, without getting too ambitious. 2001, imagine running something like that on Solana, for example, then it would be an even wilder ride. Now, of course, I'm interested in all of you who really want to take on risk because clearly when we work with leverage, it also means we have risk. So if we go here now, we simply double the value and look at what kind of profits were possible and save the whole thing. Let's do a quick calculation and then we look at the last 40 days. It would have been 40% at 1017 or almost 1018 USDT profit, which in this case you then keep in XRP. So at the purchase price, that's really wild. But as I said, leverage trading naturally has its risks. So here it's also doing a bit of calculation with the 2001 deep back test. So as the name suggests, 2 per year. This is really wild. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. And if you want to learn how to set up this bot, I'll post it in my Telegram group. Check my Uptrend Trading channel in the description for more info. I can copy the bot for you to press, deposit, and run. What interests you more? Do you want risk like futures or prefer no risk and just increase XRP? No worries. It's less, but still more XRP. It should also be possible for me to just copy the bot one-to-one, meaning you would just have to press the button, deposit, and let it run. Now I'm just curious, what interests you more? Are you looking for risk, like with futures? Or are you more inclined to say, oh no, I don't want any risk at all, I just want to increase my XRP? I don't have any worries, it's less, but it's still more XRP. I'm really curious. So feel free to write that in the comments. Feel free to join the Telegram group as well, the community group, where we can exchange ideas about this. And otherwise, I can give you the tip that I released a video on December 31st about my 3 biggest mistakes and at the same time learnings from 2024. Here is the video, and if you haven't seen it yet, whether you're new to the crypto space and this is your first bull run, or you've been through several, you should definitely check it out. See you in the next video. Until then, all the best.